Hi, happy Sunday. Sorry to be a little bit late for those of you who were expecting me. For those of you who weren't, surprised. It's been a wild 24 hours, 48 hours. I'm not even sure how long it's been. It's been a decade, really. Feels like since the last we spoke. And I apologize for the background noise. I'm with my family, far from home, but not so far from home. I didn't receive all the news alerting me to what was going on in the world. So I responded in the most MK way possible. I gave myself permission to do whatever I needed to do on social media and elsewhere. Um, Respond to whoever made me mad, to vent and get everything out. And then said, by Sunday night, you got to stop, you got to refocus, and you got to go back to who you are. And that's what I did. And it felt really good, y'all. And that's when I finally sat down and finished knocking out July. At the beginning of this year, when I started doing the programming for the year ahead, July is always one of those periods when things start to get real. And this year, truly, I did not see this coming. I knew that July was going to be hard and always planned for it to be a month where we backed off. I did not think it was going to be quite this hard. So, with that in mind, I have decided those times you need a coach the most, the times when you're least able to get one. And what we do here at Fitness Protection is all about balancing physical and mental health. Running should be the thing that makes you feel good, that helps you run through whatever it is that's going on in your life at the moment. And this might be one of those moments where you need some running. I know that I do. And this is why we're going to be opening up all of our programs, both running and strength, completely for free in both July and August. Check if you are on our email list. Great. If not, go to fitnessprotection.com and get on the email list, and you should receive all the instructions so that you can participate for free. It feels like one of those months where I just don't feel right taking money from people because, there are a lot of things I could do. I don't like any of them. The option that I like is the one where I say, hey, we're going to get through this together, and we're going to do it in the healthiest way possible. What I mean by that is we're going to be having weekly vent sessions where if you need to get some stuff out, we're going to give you a space to do that. If you don't want to talk about anything at all, that's cool. But you're not going to specifically be airing it in a group. You're going to be talking one-on-one with me or with other small groups of like-minded people that I have carefully curated, little venting sessions. So you can throw things with or at Coach Janet. I mean, not literally, these are all on Zoom. But you'll get access to some strength work, some yoga work, all of the personality that Coach Kia has, and all of Coach MK that you might require whether you're running or not. Because you know one thing I am good at, it's making people feel strong when they're weak, helping them determine their next best step, even if it's running, or telling you that you did the right thing if you put on a moo and ate some cheesecake because you decided you wanted to have a Golden Girl summer instead of a Riot Girl summer. I'm not here to tell you what to feel or how to deal. I'm just here to tell you how awesome you are. And I want to make that as widely available and free as possible for the next 2 months to anyone who needs it or wants it. Got a pretty good thing going here. I would like to help you channel some of that excess energy that you have into something that will build you up, buck you up, strengthen you up for the rest of the year rather than break you down further, because there's enough in this world trying to do that as it is. So as you can tell, I'm not home now. Will be really soon. If you're not on the email list, get there. But I'm also going to be asking people to aggressively forward the email around to anyone who thinks might need a little extra or might not have access to other resources that they need. Y'all know I'm crafty. I'm resourceful, and I'll figure things out. Anything you need, I'm going to help you get it. And I mean that, as you know. So with all that said, got some weekly wins we're going to celebrate. Got one question I'm going to answer, but I wanted to make that announcement first. As far as the weekly wins goes, congratulations to me for finally taking a vacation. Yay, we needed it. We are here for not ever, but for a long enough time, and I'm very excited about it. Karen Sutton completed the hike she's been training for and summit Mount Kilimanjaro. If you have not yet, go to our Instagram, go to our Facebook page, Fitness Protection LLC, and you'll see photos of her at the summit of Kilimanjaro. It's fabulous. She looks so excited. Amanda Williams just woke up one day and decided that it was her birthday and she was going to run a half marathon. So she did at Grandma's. Congratulations and happy birthday, Amanda. Also, Coach Nakia's birthday was last week, and she did not post that on social everywhere. So if you get a chance, be sure you sing happy birthday to her and buy her a bottle of wine. It can be really cheap. She has no taste and doesn't really discern. She'll drink whatever you give her. Happy birthday, Coach Nakia. Erin White was a beast. I mean, she's always a beast, but specifically this time she was a beast, completing her 7-mile long run in the southern summer heat and humidity. And if it's anywhere near as humid as it is where we are right now, that's badass. I'm barely able to walk here without like wanting, even though we're not at altitude, man, this humidity stuff is hard. I don't know how you deal with it year round. Tamara Payton ran a solo half marathon this weekend because she's badass. It's just what she does. Well done, Tamara. Karen Schluter got in 12.7 miles for her long run this week, and that is it's the longest she's running for a while. She's been nursing a back issue. We are thrilled for you and proud of you, Karen. I know how good that has to feel. Elin Masick celebrated her run-anniversary celebrated her run-anniversary last week and raced the neighborhood 5K. That was her first race back in 2011. Then she crushed the Hotlanta half marathon. Congratulations, Elin. That's amazing. I love it. I love to read this because when you train the way we do here, which means you never really stop, but you never really have to go into first gear either. You can just YOLO a half marathon whenever you want to. You only need 10 weeks to get ready for a full. We don't burn out because we don't go hard. We go smart. I love that. And I love that for all these people. Congratulations and thank you. When it comes to questions, here's the solo question that we have this week. I'm not normally a trail runner, but it's hot and I want to run in the shade. How does trail running correlate to road running? Is it roughly 1-to-1, or do I need to do more or less trail running to get the same amount of workout that I was getting on the road? Honestly, they are two different sports. I don't even consider them the same category because when you're on a road, it's pretty smooth and consistent. You know what you're going to get. If a car can go there, then there's not a lot of changes from 1 mile to the next. Right. Or maybe there's a hill, but it's a flat road. A trail, you don't get that. It could be smooth in one place, scree in another. There could be tree roots here, tree branches, and it's like 3 steps ahead. It is usually the terrain is undulating. Now, that is like trail is a spectrum. You could have like some trails I've shown up and they've basically been concrete golf cart paths. I doubt that's what you're talking about, but I've also learned to be really scared when I see a trail race only offering 2 distances that on a road would not be a big deal, like a 4K and an 8K, because I know that 4K is going to be dead uphill climbing things and it's going to take me 8 hours. I mean, that's an exaggeration, but if the only 2 options that are offered don't seem so bad, they are tricking you, those trail runners, right? They are vicious. They are tricking you. So keep that in mind. The shorter the distance on a trail, the more challenging that trail is probably going to be. So I would never say that one workout is less than the other. They are very different. I think trail running is a lot harder. It is really going to up your strength in a lot of ways. And it's going to show you how much strength or weakness you have in your ankles and in the soles of your feet, depending on the terrain that you're running on. So I'm not trying to like give you an overtly grotesquely long answer. And I'm not trying to dance around it either. Because the answer to every question is it depends. Is it going to be as hard as your run workout? You might not be breathing as hard because you might not be able to go as fast. It might not be as consistent of a run. My biggest complaint about trails when I get on them, unless it's like a city paved, some sort of like a groomed trail, odds are pretty good I'm not going to be able to totally zone out and use my run as a guided meditation, which is not dissing it. Everyone has a different way of doing things. And for me personally, mine has to go with matching my breathing with my footfalls. And I can do that most efficiently on a groomed trail or pavement of some sort. I find it more challenging to do that on trails. Others are the reverse. You'll figure out who you are pretty quickly. I don't think of it specifically as like 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 or 5-to-1. It's like, how much elevation change is in this? Pay attention. What sort of terrain is it? Pay attention. Eyes are pretty good. You won't go as far or as fast, but you'll feel like you went 5 times farther and 5 times faster, depending on the trail itself. So again, rather than trying to compare the two, question is more like, will squash hurt me as much as baseball? Well, it depends on where the ball hits you is really the question. Both of them can hurt. Neither one's particularly pleasant, and both are going to leave you wondering why you came in the first place. But that's not specifically a bad thing. So there you go. How does trail running correlate to road running? That is the best question that you'll find out when you get on the trail that you have selected. But yeah, it's hot and you want to run in the shade. That's valid. The final thing I would warn you about is check where you are. Depending on what part of the United States you live in, all of these questions, if you haven't trained with us, are submitted anonymously. So I'm speaking directly to you, but I'm not giving away personal information. That's the way we do things here. So this person asking about they're saying that they are hot and want to run in the shade. My answer to that is also be careful, because in some parts of the United States, trail runners will tell you you do not ever want to run in shorts because of either wildlife or the scrub around you, or you really, really, really don't want to run in short sleeves or tank tops because of ticks. So that's the thing. Make sure that you're taking all of that into consideration, because just because there's shade, there are other things that might be there getting shade, and you might not want to meet them on your runs. So do check that out. Know before you go. It's a really good thing to do. De facto, assuming this is going to happen and that's going to happen. I find trails much more so than roads will always knock your assumptions out the roof. Whereas my coworkers used to say, "Gonna make an ass out of you and me." So careful with the assumptions. I get that you want to be in the shade. I feel that. I do. Make sure that the shade you're getting into is not a shade that other things you don't want to be around are getting into as well. Come on. So those are all the questions in Ask Away. If I haven't seen you in a while, welcome back. I've missed you. Keep an eye on your email. You'll be receiving instructions very soon on how to join our programs for free for the rest of the summer and get all the coaching, all the loving, and the reminders that no matter what happens, now or forever, you are winning at life, because I got you and you got this no matter what comes next. We're going to do it together. Have a good week, y'all.